Good morning, room 41. Today we're going to continue our lessons on triangles. We learned in our last lesson that triangles can be named by their angles. We saw triangles that were acute triangles, triangles that were right triangles, and triangles that were obtuse triangles. So we looked at their angles. Today we're going to look at triangles by their sides. In other words, the length of their sides. So we can identify and name triangles either by the angles they have or the lengths of their sides. So there's two different ways to name triangles. And then we put that learning together. So that's our goal for today. So let's look at the sides of a triangle. Obviously three sides because it is a triangle. They can be named by their sides. Now here's the key that's going to help you an awful lot in today's lesson. The small tick marks on the sides of triangles tell us when sides are equal. Do you see the little lines going through that first triangle? There's a line on each side that tells us that all three sides are equal. So the prefix equa means equal. Triangles that have three equal sides, like the first triangle, are called equilateral triangles. Same length, same length, same length. Equilateral. The tick marks tell me all three sides are equal. The second triangle has two equal sides. That is an isosceles triangle. The word isosceles comes from a very old word that means equal legs. So it kind of makes sense. Two are the same. Your two legs are equal length. So we see two tick marks on the two sides that have an equal length. Obviously the third side is much shorter. And then you'll notice the last triangle has no tick marks on it, because that's a triangle with no equal sides. Those are called scalene. All triangles that are not equilateral or isosceles have to be scalene. So you can draw a triangle that is equilateral, all three sides the same, isosceles, two sides the same length, or a triangle with no equal sides called a scalene. So let's review. How do you decide if it is equilateral, isosceles, or scalene? You just look at the sides. If there are no equal sides, that is a scalene triangle. Look at the three lengths of those three sides. They are different lengths. If there are two equal sides, the triangle is isosceles. And we see the two tick marks there to tell us two sides are the same. If there are three equal sides, we say that that triangle is equilateral. Three tick marks, three lengths, the same size. All right, let's try a couple. Now, this is taken from your student activity book, so this would be something we would be doing in class if we were together. You're going to use these triangles to answer the three questions, and I'm going to answer them with you while you think. I will answer the questions for you. So we have several triangles, and again, notice the tick marks. That will help you to tell you if it is a scalene, equilateral, or isosceles. Question number 17. Write the letter names of the scalene triangles. So there must be more than one. I'm looking for scalene triangles. Triangles with no equal sides. No tick marks. There are two triangles there that do not have tick marks on them at all, because all three sides are different lengths. It looks like that's going to be triangle DEF, and it looks like it's going to be STU. Those are our scalene triangles. Question number 18. Write the letter names of the equilateral triangles. Equilateral, equal. All three sides equal. What do you think? Looks like triangle ABC, because there are three tick marks, and triangle PQR. Three tick marks, three equal sides. Now, as you get older, those tick marks go away, and you just have to be able either to measure with a ruler or look at them and decide three equal sides, two equal sides, no equal sides. All right, question number 19. Write the letter names of the isosceles triangles. Isosceles, okay, means two legs, two sides the same. looking for 2 tick marks, 2 sides are the same length, the other side is not the same length. Looks like that's going to be triangle GHI and JKL. So that's how we identify triangles, by their sides, by the length of their sides. And again, their names are scalene, no equal sides, equilateral, all equal sides, and isosceles, 2 equal sides. All right, now, here we go. Our last lesson, we looked at the angles of a triangle. Today's lesson, we're looking at sides of a triangle. Now we can put the 2 different ways of identifying triangles by giving them 2 separate names. I can name the triangle by its sides, and I can also name the triangle by its angles. So in each of these triangles, there's going to be 2 letters beside it, because we're looking for the length of its sides and the type of the angle. So let's look at the very first triangle right here. This one right here. Okay, so a couple of clues. Look, 2 tick marks. So these 2 lengths are the same. The length of the side is the same, so that is an isosceles triangle. So I would put an I there. Let's see if I'm any good at writing. That's an isosceles triangle. Now, what about the angles? Remember, every triangle has 2 acute angles. So there's an acute angle. Down here's an acute angle. But this third one tells me right away what it is. Remember, that's a right triangle. So I'm also going to put a letter R there. Oops. Took my pen away. There we go. Okay, let's go on to this triangle. Look at its sides. 1, 2, 3 tick marks. That means all 3 sides are the same. So we know that is equilateral. Oops. Put an E for equilateral. Now, what about the angles? Look at this angle. That looks acute. Look at this angle. Also an acute angle. Remember, there's always 2. This third one will determine it. Another acute angle. So that is an equilateral triangle. That is also an acute triangle. Oh, my A is terrible. All right. Triangle number 3. I see 2 tick marks. 2 sides are the same. 2 sides are the same. Which word is that? 2 sides are the same. We know that is isosceles. Now, let's look at the angles. Okay, we have acute. This angle right here is also acute. Remember, there's always 2. This one determines it. This one is also acute. So we have an acute. And our last one, this one right here, I don't see any tick marks. So that tells me that that must be 3 different sides. The word is scalene. So I'm putting an S for scalene. Woo! Let's undo that. It's tough to type using my mouse. There it goes. All right, so it is a scalene triangle because nothing is the same length, but I'm looking at angles now, and I'm thinking acute up here and acute down here, and this one tells me right here it is a right triangle. So I've labeled these triangles now based on the lengths of their side and on the type of angle they have. So you can see I don't have any of the same answers at all. All four of these triangles have been named now on isosceles, 2 equal sides, and right triangle because of this. Equilateral triangle, all three are the same, and acute because all three angles are acute. This is also an isosceles triangle because 2 equal sides. This one tells me it is acute because we have acute angles in all three angles. This one is a scalene triangle because no sides are equal, there's no tick marks, and we know it's a right triangle because it has the right angle in the corner. All right, so I have 4 triangles that I'm going to try and place in my Venn diagram. I put the little codes up at the top to help us remember. You're going to be doing this activity on your own here in a few minutes on MobyMax, so watch as I do it. Yours might look a little different than mine. Okay, let's start with this triangle right here. Now, I happen to name these two acute and isosceles. If it's not acute, it doesn't go in here. If it's not isosceles, it doesn't go in here. But if it is acute and isosceles, it goes in the middle. If it's just acute over here, just isosceles over here. If it's nothing, it goes out around the edge. All right, this triangle, let's move it up here. Is that an acute triangle? An acute triangle has to have 3 acute angles. No, it's not acute. Is it isosceles? Remember, isosceles means 2 equal sides. I'm looking at this length and this length and this length. No, this does not fit in either of those. It goes out here. My next one. Is this an acute triangle? Are all 3 angles acute? Ooh, yes it is. Is it also isosceles, where 2 sides are the same, the third one is different? Yes, so it is acute and isosceles, it goes in here. This triangle, is it acute? Well, remember, every triangle has 2 acute angles, but this angle right here tells me that is obtuse, so no, it is not acute. Is it isosceles? Are 2 sides the same length? And the answer is yes. This side and this side are the same length. It doesn't have tick marks on it, but I can tell they're the same length. And this one. Acute triangle. All 3 angles look like they're acute, so it would definitely go there. Does it also fit over here with isosceles, where there's only 2 sides the same? Oh no. All 3 sides are the same. So I've sorted my my triangles into the types of triangles they are based on their sides and their angles. So that's what you're working on today. When you get into MobyMax, you're going to have another triangles activity to do. You're going to be looking at the sides of a triangle. So you're paying attention to these words up here. If you want to write them down somewhere right now, I would pause this video and I would write those down so you remember what they are. Equilateral, you could put a 3 beside that because all 3 sides are the same. Isosceles, you could put a 2 beside that because 2 sides will be the same. Scalene, put a 0. No sides are the same. So that's a cue right there to help you. I would jot that down before I head into MobyMax. I'm not sure if they give it to you in MobyMax. So it might be good to have it sitting on a paper somewhere near you as you do your activity for MobyMax today. All right, boys and girls, have a good day. Head over to MobyMax and get to work.